Welcome to the Sisters in Service podcast. My name is Kat Corchado. I'm a fellow Air Force veteran who, after 20 years of active duty, struggled with transition after leaving service. The Sisters in Service podcast is a platform to include all women veterans, organizations, military spouses, and Blue Star, Gold Star families in talking about the trials and triumphs we face while in service and after service. I want to take a moment to thank all of you who have taken the time to listen and follow me on my journey. My podcast is every Tuesday, and I hope you will tune in. Until then, please be safe, take care of each other, and until next time. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Sisters in Service. I am Kat Corchado, your host, and my guest today is Marina Rabinek. So if you don't know her, you should, because everybody else does. She's a teal-haired, bilingual super connector, master networker, and 24-year Navy veteran. So everybody, please welcome Marina. Hi, Marina.
Hey, Kat. How you doing?
I'm good. So I was reading your bio, girl, and when I saw teal-haired, I was like, why teal? Or is it just the color that you like?
So I have two favorite colors, teal and coral. I don't think, like, my hair is normally brown, and I didn't feel like coral was a color that I could do.
Right. It wouldn't show up.
It would be probably like, no, it would be like bright orange, because, when you put color in your hair, of course, you have to bleach it, especially when you have dark hair. I looked and I wanted to go as natural, and by that, I mean safe for my hair as possible. So I actually went and did a colored conditioner instead of actual like color. And I found this one that was like extreme teal. And I said, oh yeah,
that's
I'm
me.
Extreme. It's teal. That's me. I'm trying it. So I totally went and I got it and put it on for the first time. And I was like, oh yes, girl, this is you and you're keeping this forever. It's funny though. I waited probably about 3 or 4 months after I retired before I even did it. I don't know why, but it was just like,
yeah,
let me just wait. Are they going to call me back? You never know.
For duty. You're like, oh
for duty,
crap,
and I'm like,
I have orange hair. Is that a problem?
Blue hair. What do I do now? Chop it all off now. But yeah, that was what it was. It was just my love for that color. And so I went with it. And now everybody knows me as like the teal-haired super connector lady.
I love it. So you were in the Navy 24 years. And so
yes,
I usually ask people, did the Navy pick you or did you pick the Navy?
According to my mother, the Navy picked me because my name is Marina, which means of the sea. And she was like, you should definitely be in the Navy with a name like that. And I'm like, well, whose fault is it that I have this name? It's, but, no, seriously, I do feel that it picked me because, I started working, in Europe, namely at the, what we used to call Euro Disney, which is now called Disneyland Paris. So that was actually my first job. And then I came back to the US, after spending 3 years being part of the opening crew. I even got a jacket to prove it. I spent those years there. And then when I came back, I was living in Minnesota and, I wasn't feeling all the different things that I was doing. And I'm like, you know what? I need to be of service to others. So that's when I joined the military.
Wow. And you just walked in and said, here I am. They're like, thank you very much. And that's where it began. So you stayed 24 years on purpose because you really liked it, or it just happened that way?
About 10 years in, I thought about getting out, and I'm glad I didn't, because if I had gotten out at that time, then I would have never met my husband. I would have never had my daughter, because, all of that happened around the 11, 12-year mark when I went to Japan for the second time.
Right. Yeah, you just never know.
You don't. I mean, I could have, instead of even going and living, so my senior year of high school, I was living in the UK. And we went back to Belgium after I graduated. Well, I started going to university there. That didn't work out so great. But I could have gone to the University of Edinburgh in Scotland. That could have completely changed the trajectory of my life. You know what I mean? Like, so it's the choices that you make that lead you to the places that you are.
Exactly. I mean, when you think about, oh, if only this had happened, well, you change one little thing in history, it can change everything else.
Butterfly effect.
Yeah, you just never know. So you did your 24 years, you're getting ready to get out. What was your transition like?
I would say that it's been successful. I mean, I did a skill bridge, which for, anybody that's listening that doesn't know what a skill bridge is the Department of Defense allows people while they're still active duty for the last 6 months of their time in to do an internship. So the company that they're with doesn't pay them, but the military continues to pay, their wages. Right. And I did that. I did actually a full 6-month skill bridge with a company, was hired on. About 4 months after I was hired on, they decided to do some restructuring and they let basically almost everyone except the core people. So like the CEO, the COO, and like the CFO. And that was basically the only people that were, that stayed on. And then from there, you talked about how I'm a super connector and a master networker before. When that happened, I was devastated. Honestly, I had like this honeymoon view of this company. And I was just like, I can't believe it's over. What do I do? So, I had myself a good little, a little cry for probably like 30 minutes. And I was like, okay, time to pull up your granny panties and just, get this thing started, figuring out what you're going to do next. And so I reached out on LinkedIn, right? I reached out and I said, hey, everybody, I'm looking, I need your help. Like I reached out to my network, and I said, hey, please help me. Luckily, I had, connections who had connections who brought me on. And I came on board another company for, a few months and then realized it wasn't like we simultaneously realized it wasn't what I should be doing. Right. Since then, I've just been really digging deep to find exactly that thing that I want to do. And that's kind of where Military Women's Collective started.
Well, I think too that we all struggle with who we are when we're not in uniform.
Oh my gosh.
Because when we're not in uniform,
preach, girl, preach.
We're just like, oh, we're civilian for the weekend, even though we're still active duty.
Yes.
But what happens when we're not wearing the uniform anymore? Who are we? Who are you? What do you like to do? Those types of things. So I had that honeymoon, like you say, that romance with being a civilian. I had it, it's all, butterflies and flowers.
Unicorns and rainbows, exactly. Girl. Unicorns and rainbows.
And then I walked out there and I'm knee deep in like mud with no shoes trying to trudge forward. And I'm like, wait.
Sisyphus pushing that boulder up the hill, right?
And I said, this isn't how I imagined it. So did you know who you were out of uniform?
So I started my transition, and I tell people to start even earlier than I did. I started at about 15 months, which was, around Thanksgiving, I think of like 2019, because I retired in February of this year. And I tell people, do like 2 years out, when you start getting ready. I didn't, honestly. At that time, I did not know what Marina wanted to be when she grew up. And yes, I just talked about myself in third person. But no, I did not know who I wanted to be. Like, I agree with myself. No, but I had no idea. I knew that I enjoyed being of service, but I didn't understand like who I was. And so there's so many different resources that I used, Woven being one of them. I went to both the peer groups and also the bridges, which is to help transitioning service members, women transitioning service members, to connect them with somebody that's already a veteran. And oh my gosh, that was so helpful. I did things like the Commit Foundation and the Leader Transition Institute. All of these things I did to find out my purpose, because I feel, oh, I see your puppy. Sorry, squirrel. Sorry, I didn't see anything. I'm like, dog? Where? Squirrel? Dog? Squirrel? But no, it takes a long time, I feel, to find your purpose. And I know that is one of the main reasons that military members bounce around for the first like 2, 3, even 5 years post-military, because they don't know who they are anymore. They've been, commander somebody or chief somebody or tech sergeant whatever, or airman something. Right. I mean,
they don't care.
You've been told what to,
they don't care that,
what to do.
You like this, or you like this color. They're like, okay, just get this done. So you've
been told what to do for like 20 something years. Like, wear this, put your hair this way, put your fingernails this way, wear your makeup this way. You've been told what to do for however many years you're in, 1 year, 35 years, right? Then it's like, oh my gosh, what do I wear to an interview? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, business casual.
What is business casual? Yes. Oh my God, how did you know I was going to say that? What the hell is business casual? Like, I feel like what I'm wearing right now is called business casual.
Right.
It's, I got a cute little tank, or not cute little, what is this thing called? Turtleneck, yeah. Right? And a nice little like leopard sweater on. And then you could wear black jeans or a pair of black slacks, and boom, business casual, right? But I literally had to Google what the heck business casual was, because I had no idea. You wear this, like, you're told what to wear every day.
Absolutely. Well, you don't have to think about it. It's either BDUs
Mindless.
or blues, and that's it.
Yep.
And it's like, A, B, B, A, A. Okay.
The Navy has way more. There's so many uniforms for the Navy. Like you got the BDUs, like you said. We got the whites. We got the blues. Oh my gosh, the khakis for. Look, somebody decided to join me. Remember how I said?
Oh, what a cute kitty!
Oh, that is my diluted tortie. Yep. So we have a dog in your background and a cat in mine. She's my little mini.
Well, you know what you don't know?
Emotional support animal.
Of course. You know what you don't know is that I almost went in the Navy because I thought their dress whites were beautiful. And then they're pretty snazzy. The recruiter was like, you don't wear those all the time, right? And I was like, and he told me to kind of in a nice way, he told me to stay in my lane.
Ooh, dang. You were like, Air Force it is. Thank you. You know what, though? I mean, as much as the other services make fun, like you guys call us squids and we call y'all chair force and things like that, right? Y'all got it good. I mean, you have the best of everything, right? The barracks are beautiful and the bases are all beautiful. I do have to agree. Air Force. Yeah. I do have to agree. And it was, there's no Navy one. It's an Air Force one. There's a Marine one, but there's no Navy one, right?
When we got to go with Woven, we got to go to San Diego, and I got to go on one of the ships that's docked there. I had no idea how big those things are.
Oh,
girl, you see it in a picture and you're like, okay, I almost got lost on deck. Like, where
are you talking about the Midway?
Yes.
You went on the Midway? Yes. So I just was there for like 3 weekends in a row. I went to this amazing discussion that was held by the San Diego State University Center for War and Society, where they were talking about discussions about women's identity in the military. Oh, it was so good. Oh, I hope they do it again next year. It was amazing, but it was all held on the Midway. Oh, it was so much fun.
It was wonderful. I mean, it was just huge. And they were doing a retirement ceremony on there.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just, we had some Navy people and they're like, oh, this is this and this is, and they were explaining to this. And I was like,
that's what I was doing too.
Oh
I was showing all the other girls because we had an Air Force, we had a couple Air Force, we had some Marines, we had a Coast Guard. We had all of them except, the, Guardians, right? Guardians of the Galaxy. Right. Sorry. Didn't mean that. Space Force, right? We didn't have any Space Force, but I was walking around with them and being like, okay, this is this, and, this is an F-35 and this is that, I did the same thing, but it's crazy because the Midway is actually small. I can't remember if the Kitty Hawk is the original. But I mean, I was stationed in Japan when the Kitty Hawk was still in service, and the Midway is the same class of carrier as the Kitty Hawk. And now the ones that are out there, like the Reagan and the Bush.
Oh, they're so much bigger now.
Enormous.
You know what job I wanted to do when I would always see this on the movies, and I thought it was the coolest thing. So the aircraft carriers, where they land and take off. Yep. You know that person that I don't know what they're doing.
Guy.
Yeah, and then they salute them. After
yes.
Can I just salute? I just wanted to do that job.
Yeah, so that is, you'll see there's two of them. There's actually an enlisted version and an officer version. So they're called the LSE and the LSO.
Oh.
Landing signals enlisted and landing signals officer. And so what they're doing is they're doing like and it's great because we had, on my last ship, we had Harriers, which are the ones that can take off and land like this. And then we also had F-35s. And it was so great to be able to be up there on the flight deck, learning about that, and watching them do their little motion that they do where they're like, okay, go. And then they're, like you said, they're doing the salute.
When they do it.
It does. It's super cool to watch.
But
it's
alas,
really cool to watch.
I went into the Air Force. Poor me.
It's okay. Yeah. Let me play my violin for you. Hold on. I have two of them. They're very tiny.
Very tiny. I can't even see them. So you're known as a super connector and a master networker. Did you intend to do that, or did it just happen because? What, like, was it an intention, or it just happened because of, so I think as veterans, we just really want information, and we start to get information, and we start to know people, and we start to know things.
Yep.
And so it just starts to kind of grow bigger and bigger. Do you think that's what happened? It just kind of happened to you?
I think so. It was kind of like a snowball. Like I would meet somebody, and then I would tell somebody about somebody, and then they would talk about who I am. I have this one person, he's one of my mentees on Veterati. His name is Tafsir, and he said, you know how the saying all roads lead to Rome? He says, well, on LinkedIn, all roads lead to Marina. And I was like, whoa, that's really cool. I never had anybody say that.
All right, that's the title of this segment.
I was like, that's
all roads lead to Marina.
I mean, let me make sure that's exactly, hold on. I want to make sure that's exactly what he said. Because, people can endorse you and give you recommendations and stuff like that. And let me see. I'm going to make absolutely, so Tafsir said, they say all roads lead to Rome. You will find that on LinkedIn, all connections lead to Marina. She has a passion for helping people and paying it forward, which has resulted in creating an ever-growing network of like-minded people that stretches from California all the way to Italy, where I am stationed and beyond.
I love it.
Yeah, he's in Italy, and I have people in Japan.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it was crazy. He's like, her endless pool of resources and motivation to take care of others is even more impressive when you realize she does it all. And this was while I was still active duty that he was giving me.
Oh, wow.
That I was, because I started doing all this, the super connecting and then master networking stuff. I started doing it, like I said, back in November of 2019. And so it's amazing, like how much the followers and all that stuff have grown. Mm-hmm. Especially now since I started doing Warrior Women Wednesday. Oh my gosh, I so enjoy doing that. And I've had you on as a guest on Clubhouse, but I want to get you back again to do it on LinkedIn Live because I think it's a different experience to do it like where you can see the person and you can interact with them.
It is. I think it's a different animal, but it's all the same thing. You know, it's all communications. It's all broadcasting out there. But I think that when you are out there as a woman veteran, and let me know if this is true for you. When I found my thing, which by the way is podcasting, I got so excited and I got goosebumps when I thought, you know, when I finally did it and I thought, this is the greatest thing ever. Is that how you thought about your organization?
Oh gosh, yes.
With the idea of it.
The idea of it, and I was like, okay, is this name taken? Like, I was doing all kinds of research because I was thinking about trying to make it something about like warrior women, but there were so many things already called that. And I was like, okay, well, let me look at military women. Okay, that's good. But then there was other things, and there was like Military Women United and this and that. And I'm like, well, what could I call a big, you know, amalgamation of women? Like, what could I call a group other than a group? Let me try collective. So I Googled Googled group, and I'm like, you know, let me find synonyms for a group. And I just kept looking, and I'm like, ooh, collective. It just kind of, for me, it rolled off the tongue.
I mean, when I was trying to name my podcast, I would just write down names. Like I had like 10, 15, 20 names, and I would put 1 and 5 together and 5 and 10 together, you know. And finally I just said, that's it right there. And you just know, you just know. So speaking of your organization, the Military Women's Collective, tell us a little bit about it. So first question.
Yes.
The why behind it. Why an organization for women? And I only ask that because, you know, there are a lot of women organizations out there. So the why.
Very true.
And what makes this one different?
The why is to have women, military women, and by military women, I mean active duty. I mean those transitioning service members, right? That TSM acronym that we see thrown around LinkedIn, right? And then also retired women. I want to empower them to excel. My time in the military, I didn't feel as empowered as I do now. I had issues with having my voice heard, or if it was heard, it was ignored, and then summarily the idea was stolen, or not stolen, I hate to say that word, but was taken by somebody else that it was not a woman. And then all of a sudden it was a great idea. And I'm like, wait, I just said that exact same thing and I got crickets.
Yep.
But someone else with different body parts can say this, right? I'm trying to say it real nice. I couldn't think of a way to say it.
That was very good, Marina.
Thank you. Somebody with different body parts, right, can say the exact same thing. And all of a sudden, it's the best idea in the world. And that used to really just piss me off, right? It used to just annoy me. And so now I don't want women in the military or post-military to have to go through that. I want to bring women together to highlight their voices and to honor their voices and to raise them up. I remember seeing something. This takes me to a video that I watched. It's a TED Talk by this awesome lady named Margaret Heffernan. And I call it fondly Super Chicken, where it talks about how, like, you have all these hens in this hen house, and you may have 1 or 2 super chickens, which are like the ones that just produce, right? And then maybe the other ones are putting out like 1 or 2, but those ones are like 6, 7, whatever. And so what they did was they took all these super chickens and they stuck them all together in the same hen house. And they found that the productivity actually
went down.
Stopped. Yeah, just basically almost stopped. Like they ended up being like they were losing their feathers and they were like, freaking out, like just being. And so what she said was she tried doing that with people, And they found that the same kind of thing happened. When you have so many super chickens all together, you don't get as much accomplished. And what she said was, the thing that you need to put in your groups to increase your productivity is a woman.
Right.
There's all these groups that are like men's think tanks and stuff like that. Adding that woman's point of view in there increased the productivity immensely. And I was like, well, there you go.
That's it right there. That's
the ticket right there. And so, right now, it's not a nonprofit yet. I'm in process of doing the paperwork, getting that filed through the IRS for 501c3 status. Honestly, what I love about it is that I can continue to mentor people, because that's what I did in the Navy, was mentorship.
right.
And so that's what I'm doing with MWC, with Military Women's Collective. I'm continuing to mentor, and some of the things that I want to do in the future is do summits, be able to do scholarships, things like that. I can't wait to see where I go in the future with it.
So in your
I'm
vision,
excited.
when women come to the MWC, what kinds of women are you helping? So you said mentorship was one. So if I come to your organization, what would I see? What would I feel? What would I be able to do there?
In my vision for the future, it's to have MWC be that listening ear, that place to amplify voices of military women, women in the military community. I want women to know that they have somewhere where they can ask questions, like people that are active duty. Come and ask us, I want to do webinars or be able to bring women and have them understand that they can vent if they need to. They can ask questions like, hey, somebody is saying rude things to me while I'm at work. Help me figure out what I can do to either make it stop, or what I need to do to continue to work and not feel suppressed by someone else, right? Because I wanted that for myself. I felt like I needed that ally, that supporter, that person that was like, you know what, Marina, it's going to be okay. They're not listening to you now, but boy, when you get out, they're going to be listening to you later, and knowing that there are people out there that just want to help. And that's really what I want to do. Like, I just, my heart is a like a servant, servant leader's heart. I love being of service to others so much.
You just want to help.
Gosh,
you want to help.
Yeah, I just want to help.
And I think that women and men too, that when you're in service, you want to be of service afterwards.
Yes.
And so I didn't realize that Sisters in Service, at the time I was like, oh, women in the military, but also women out of the military who want to be of service also. So when are you looking to launch?
Well, I've launched the LinkedIn page. I can't wait for my 501c3 status to come in.
Right.
Like, I'm just so excited. I've already been using MWC as a platform. I'm just excited. Like, I've got some amazing people lined up.
So I want to change the subject. So we've got Marina, the super connector, Marina, the founder of her Military Women's Coalition. Did I say that? No, collective, Military Women's Collective. Let's talk about Marina, the person. So when you're not all of these hats, you take all of these hats off. What does Marina do to decompress from all? And even though all this stuff is good, you have to decompress. So how do you do that? How does Marina do that? I
love to paint. My whole family, so my husband and my daughter and myself, we like to play video games together.
Nice.
So we're all in the same video game, running around with each other. Let's see. I love to use my Cricut to craft. I've made bunches of shirts. I also like to make blankets. Road trips. Road trips are like my jam. Obviously with COVID happening, we couldn't go anywhere, but right now I just can't wait to go back to be able to do road trips again.
I know. I can't wait either. That's on my list for next year is traveling to see family, traveling to podcast conferences, travel.
Exactly. My daughter has never seen Yellowstone. I have to bring her there before, the super volcano explodes. You got to go see it, right? So
we got to go see it.
We're overdue for a monstrous explosion.
Way overdue.
Yeah. So we need to, I want to definitely bring her there before,
So do you cook? Are you a cook?
I am not. Okay, I can cook some stuff. But my husband is really good.
Mine too.
I don't know what hey.
And he loves it. I was like, that's your
exactly.
job now.
I am not one of those people that's like, oh, I'm a woman, I have to be in the kitchen, right? No, I don't care about that. Not that we don't have like the
traditional roles,
traditional gender roles, right? That's not our our thing. We each have our own bank accounts, and we each, it
just works for you. It works for you,
Exactly.
I think that when I met my husband and he said, oh, I can cook, how guys are like, they can cook one dish, right? So he's one of those, I call him a chef, and here's why.
I call my husband a chef.
He's one of those people that he tries a new recipe. There's one thing he doesn't have. He can substitute something for it, and it tastes amazing. He goes, well, I didn't have this. And I was like, what?
And did you need it?
But here's the problem. He will make something that tastes amazing. And he'll say, do you want me to make it again? I said, make it exactly like this. But because he's a chef, and I'm doing air quotes here, he wants to change things and make it different.
Yep.
So, gotta love him.
I understand.
Gotta love him. Here's another question. What's a girly thing that you like to do? Like, do you like to mani-pedis? Do you like to get your hair done? You like massages? Not that that's a girly thing, but what's that one?
All of the above. I love massages. I've recently been doing facials, like once a month. I've been going and doing like chemical peel type thing. Where I end up looking like a snake. Because I'm peeling, my skin's coming off. I don't do manis, I do pedis because my fingernails always break.
Foot massage.
Oh, and foot so good.
I know.
So good. And then I like to do my makeup every now and again, but it makes me feel even more beautiful.
Yeah, it
I'm
makes you,
accentuating.
especially when your makeup's good. When you
exactly, you're like, hey, girl,
someone says, "Oh, your makeup looks great." That means you have too much makeup on. But if someone says, "Oh, wow, you look great today," you're like, "Well, thank you."
You're like, "Thank you." I just
your
put a
skin
little bit
is
of makeup
wonderful.
on.
What do you do? Oh, I eat right and exercise and drink plenty of water.
Right? Exactly. You're like that. I'm just that awesome. No.
So you're also bilingual, correct? And you're fluent in.
So my bilingual, my other language is French. But I also know still quite a bit of Japanese from when I was stationed there.
Oh, wow.
And then I also lived there as a kid for a year. My dad was in the pharmaceutical field, and so I lived there when I was 10 to 11 or 11 to 12.
Yeah.
6th grade, whatever that
is. Yeah. I think it's middle school now. Is that considered middle school?
It is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you said you graduated overseas, high school, correct?
I did.
I did too, in Germany.
I did 9 through 11, so high school 9 through 11. I did in at ISB, which is the International School of Brussels. And then my final year, my senior year, I went to this place called TASIS England, which is the American school in Switzerland, but it's the English branch. There's 3 branches, and that's the branch that I went to.
Oh, wow. Marina's also international, y'all.
The first time I ever went to Europe was when I was 7. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's
pretty cool. I was actually born in England. Europe. I was born there. My dad was already in the military when I was born.
So were you born at like Mildenhall or Lakenheath or?
No, it's a base that's not even, I mean, my dad was stationed at Lakenheath at one time. We did live there.
Right.
But I was actually born in a town called Wiltshire, England, and which I didn't know. We grew up on not Hershey's chocolate. We grew up on Cadbury's.
Cadbury chocolate
And
with the caramel in the center.
Cadbury's
oh my
was,
gosh. Cadbury's the
I
bomb.
eat it to this day. However, Swiss chocolate does beat it. Swiss chocolate does
Swiss
beat
chocolate
it.
is amazing. So my parents lived in the Italian part of Switzerland, and we used to go to like the Lindt factory and all like, oh my gosh, they're everywhere in Switzerland.
Yeah.
Oh, the chocolate is so good there.
So when I first met my husband, and he said, "Do you want to?" He says, "You want some chocolate?" I go, "Yeah." And he goes, "You like Hershey's?" And I was like, "Eh."
Ew.
And he goes, "What are you, a chocolate snob?" And I go, "Yes, I am." And
You're like, actually,
we got married, and my mother every year to this day, she sends us boxes of Cadbury's, all kinds of different Cadbury's.
Oh, nice.
So in England, they have what they're called Maltesers. They're like multi-milk balls.
A Whopper.
Yeah.
It's like a Whopper.
20 times better.
Totally. Yes, I know.
And so
I
we
remember.
had gotten a box, and I was like, "Hey, do you want some of these?" He's like, "No." So I go to work, I come home, and there's Malteser packages all over the place. And I said, "What are you
The whole
doing?"
thing.
He goes, "You didn't tell me they were this good." I go, "Take your hands off of my Maltesers.
Get away from my Maltesers
box."
before I hurt you. Step away from the Maltesers.
So Marina, one last question. What kind of advice
ma'am.
would you give to a woman veteran who isn't sure whether she wants a traditional job or she wants to be an entrepreneur? She's kind of scared because she wants the money to keep coming in, but at the same time, she's got that entrepreneurial spirit. So what kind of advice would you give to her?
This is going to sound crazy, but do both. The reason I say that is have that full-time or part-time job and have this entrepreneurship mindset, and make that a passion project, which is what, for me, what MWC started out with was a passion project, right? And slowly as you build it more and it gets more out there, and, maybe you'll start getting donors and supporters and things like that, you can transition from that full or part-time job into being solely the founder, the CEO, whatever you want to call yourself, of that entrepreneurial,
Venture
thing that you're doing. Yeah, a venture. Thank you. I couldn't think. I'm like, what is the word for this? It's interesting that you asked that, because I'm right now I'm going to a lot of those kind of accelerators, which is what they call, things for entrepreneurial people, where you're going and you're learning about how to craft your vision and your mission and your mission statement. Each place has a specific set of words.
Right.
What are your values? Are they, like, for the Navy, honor, courage, and commitment, right? I know the Air Force, one of them is integrity, right? Being able to figure all those things out and being able to talk about it, are you just in that idea phase, or are you in the business plan phase, or are you in the growth phase?
Right.
All those different parts of entrepreneurship. There's so many different things out there that people, especially veterans, can be a part of. You actually like segued into what I was saying earlier. On December 1st, I am going to be talking about on Warrior Women Wednesday, on the Military Women's Collective page on LinkedIn. That is exactly what we're going to be talking about, because I want veterans to know that, you don't just have to go corporate. You can totally go entrepreneur, and there's so many things that you can do. Like, if there's something that you love to do, why not share it with everyone else?
I think one of the things that I learned, too late for me, but if there's something you really like to do, either volunteer doing it or do it part-time and see if it's something you actually like to do.
Yes.
So I know I lied. I said that was the last question. That's not the last question. This is the last question.
How dare you?
I know. I'm sorry. What's the biggest thing you've learned about Marina through this whole process, from the time you transitioned to now? What's the biggest lesson you've learned about yourself?
Wow. Dang, girl, that's a serious question. I've learned that I have a voice worth listening to because, like I said, when I was active duty, it felt to me like no one was listening. I felt invisible a lot of the time. And that is what I found through Military Women's Collective and through just being, a volunteer for different nonprofits and just, giving value on LinkedIn. Excuse me. Wow, I'm getting all choked up. I found that people actually
Listen.
And they care what I have to say. And it gives me like, I have grown in confidence so much since I retired. Like it's crazy. I used to not think that anyone was listening. And now I know that I'm helping other people with what I'm saying. It fills my cup
Yeah.
and it feeds my soul.
Absolutely.
And it just makes me happy that there are people that want to accept my help. And it honors me that they do that.
Absolutely. I think it's a lot for women to
Tears.
realize that they have a voice, because a lot of times you don't want to talk about your veteran status. And then you find something where you go, ooh, and then you find that you have a leadership style. In the military, they're like, you got to be a leader like this or a leader like this, and you're like, that's not my leadership style. And through Woven, I found that leadership style. And then through the podcast, I realized I have a voice. And, I'm at a certain age where I really don't care anymore. So I speak my mind.
You're like, there are no beeps given right now.
Right. And, and someone's listening and someone might be hearing this, So Marina, thank you so much for being a guest. It was a lot of fun to have you on and learn more about Marina and what you do and what's in the future for you and for your organization. And it's been just fun. I like to have fun when I do these, and it's always fun to have people on who we just chat, and then I almost forgot. I'm like, oh crap, we're on a podcast. Like,
right. Like I do that too. When I'm doing Warrior Women Wednesday on the MWC page, sometimes like I'll look up and we're at 55 minutes and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have only 5 minutes left. Like, wait,
what's the best way for people to contact you?
The way that they can find me is
LinkedIn.
Military Women's LinkedIn, of course. Yeah. So LinkedIn, there's me, so Marina Rabinek, and then also there's the Military Women's Collective page. And then my website is militarywomenscollective.org. And that's mainly the places. I don't do that
TikTok
thing that used to have the I don't do the thing that used to have the initials Foxtrot Bravo. Or India Golf, because I feel like I'm accessing the people I want to.
Your people, those are the people
yeah.
that follow you and the people that find you and you find them, and
exactly.
it's a happy marriage. So, Sisters in Service, I hope that you learned a little bit more about Marina, especially those that think they know Marina. I wanted to ask some personal questions about her and what she likes to do in her spare time. And as always, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you'll follow, maybe share this with someone that you know. And please stay safe, take care of each other, and until next time.
that want to accept my help. And it honors me that they do that.
Absolutely. I think it's a lot for women to
Tears.
realize that they have a voice, because a lot of times you don't want to talk about your veteran status, and then you find something where you go, ooh, and then you find that you have a leadership style. In the military, they're like, you got to be a leader like this or a leader like this, and you're like, that's not my leadership style. And through Woven, I found that leadership style. And then through the podcast, I realized I have a voice. And, I'm at a certain age where I really don't care anymore. So I speak my mind.
You're like, there are no beeps given right now.
Right. And, and someone's listening and someone might be hearing this, So Marina, thank you so much for being a guest. It was a lot of fun to have you on and learn more about Marina and, what you do and what's in the future for you and for your organization. And it's been just fun. I like to have fun when I do these, and it's always fun to have people on who we just chat, and then I almost forgot. I'm like, oh crap, we're on a podcast. Like,
right. Like I do that too. When I'm doing Warrior Women Wednesday on the MWC page, sometimes like I'll look up and we're at 55 minutes and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have only 5 minutes left. Like, wait, I got to plug all this stuff, like, don't forget to do this, this, and this, and go find these people here.
And you got to throw it in there. So how do people find you, Marina? What's the best way for people to contact you?
The way that they can find me is
LinkedIn.
Military Women's. LinkedIn, of course. Yeah. So LinkedIn, there's me, so Marina Rabinek, and then also there's the Military Women's Collective page. And then my website is militarywomenscollective.org. And that's mainly the places. I don't do that
TikTok
thing that used to have the I don't do the thing that used to have the initials Foxtrot Bravo or India Golf. And if you don't understand what that means, go look it up. So I don't do really any of those other ones because I feel like I'm accessing the people I want to.
Your people. Those are the people that follow you and the people that find you and you find them. And exactly. it's a happy marriage. So Sisters in Service, I hope that you learned a little bit more about Marina, especially those that think they know Marina. I wanted to ask some personal questions about her and what she likes to do in her spare time. And as always, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you'll follow, maybe share this with someone that you know, and please stay safe, take care of each other.
That want to accept my help. And it honors me that they do that.
Absolutely. I think it's a lot for women to realize that they have a voice, because a lot of times you don't want to talk about your veteran status, and then you find something where you go, ooh, and then you find that you have a leadership style. In the military, they're like, you got to be a leader like this or a leader like this, and you're like, that's not my leadership style. And through Woven, I found that leadership style. And then through the podcast, I realized I have a voice. And, I'm at a certain age where I really don't care anymore. So I speak my mind.
You're like, there are no beeps given right now.
Right. And, and someone's listening and someone might be hearing this, So Marina, thank you so much for being a guest. It was a lot of fun to have you on and learn more about Marina and, what you do and what's in the future for you and for your organization. And it's been just fun. I like to have fun when I do these, and it's always fun to have people on who we just chat, and then I almost forgot. I'm like, oh crap, we're on a podcast. Like,
right. Like I do that too. When I'm doing Warrior Women Wednesday on the MWC page, sometimes like I'll look up and we're at 55 minutes and I'm like, oh my gosh, we have only 5 minutes left. Like, wait, I got to plug all this stuff, like, don't forget to do this, this, and this, and go find these people here.
And you got to throw it in there. So how do people find you, Marina? What's the best way for people to contact you?
The way that they can find me is
LinkedIn.
Military Women's. LinkedIn, of course. Yeah. So LinkedIn, there's me, so Marina Rabinek, and then also there's the Military Women's Collective page. And then my website is militarywomenscollective.org. And that's mainly the places. I don't do that
TikTok
thing that used to have the, I don't do the thing that used to have the initials Foxtrot Bravo, or India Golf. Yeah. And if you don't understand what that means, go look it up. Yeah. So I don't do really any of those other ones. Cause I feel like I'm accessing the people, I want to,
your people. You know, those are the people
yeah.
that follow you, and the people that find you and you find them. And
Exactly.
it's a happy marriage. So Sisters in Service, I hope that you learned a little bit more about Marina, especially those that think they know Marina. I wanted to ask some personal questions about her and, you know, what she likes to do in her spare time. And as always, thank you so much for listening. I hope that you'll follow, maybe share this with someone that you know, and please stay safe, take care of each other.
That want to accept my help. And it honors me that they do that.
Absolutely. You know, I think it's a lot for women to realize that they have a voice, you know, because a lot of times you don't want to talk about your veteran status, and then you find something where you go, ooh, and then you find that you have a leadership style. You know, in the military, they're like, you got to be a leader like this or a leader like this, you know, and you're like, that's not my leadership style. And through Woven, I found that leadership style. And then through the podcast, I realized I have a voice. And, you know, I'm at a certain age where I really don't care anymore. So I speak my mind.
You're like, there are no beeps given right now.
Right. And, you know, and someone's listening and someone might be hearing this, you know. So Marina, thank you so much for being a guest. It was a lot of fun to have you on and learn more about Marina and, you know, what you do and what's in the future for you and for your organization. And it's been just fun. You know, I like to have fun when I do these, and it's always fun to have people on who we just chat, you know. And then I almost forgot. I'm like, oh crap, we're on a podcast. Like,
right. Like I do that too. When I'm doing Warrior Women Wednesday on the MWC page, sometimes